Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Let's Talk series. Instead of a question, I kinda got a request to talk about myself a little bit. So I guess I'll just start off with, I'm a junior in high school, and to describe my personality I'll say, well, major part, I think logically. I don't like it when people let their emotions take over. I don't do that. Like in a very critical situation, that could be an asset. You're not going out and running all over the place panicking. Just stay calm. Don't worry. If you're gonna die, you're gonna die. There's nothing you can do about it. My favorite food is anything from the US of A, I guess. That's my favorite type. So like your hamburgers, French fries, barbecue pork, all that nice stuff. That's my favorite. Mac and cheese. It's a big one. I forgot about that. I do like some Oriental foods. It just depends on what it is, how it's prepared, stuff like that. But then again, I do have to realize that all of that food has been Americanized and really isn't what it is in its homeland. So like I have a Chinese restaurant right down the street. Yeah, I don't think the Chinese deep fry everything in a bunch of unhealthy oil. I may be wrong, but I'm under the impression that they don't. My music that I like to listen to, mainly, well, yeah, mainly parodies. So people like Weird Al, for example, just songs that are just hilarious all the way through and stray far from the original song. I like barbershop acapella music. It's pretty amazing what the human voice can do without any instruments to go along with it. So that means I do like the TV show The Sing Off, because that's all acapella. There's no instruments involved in that show. My favorite color is blue, but it's not a really light blue. It's more leaning towards darker blue, but I don't like dark blue. It just looks blah to me. But I don't like sky blue for sure. That's not my favorite color. So I don't need to think of some more things to talk about myself. Favorite chips? Right now it's jalapeno chips. Used to be anything barbecue, but at Subway one day just happened to pick up a bag of jalapeno chips and wow, were they good. So that's what I've been eating for about the last half a year or so, till I find something else that I like. I do hate Doritos. Any kind of Doritos. I can't stand them. They just don't taste that good to me. I've never liked them. And that's weird because the rest of my family likes them. And that's the problem. They have to buy me separate chips because they all want their Doritos, but I just hate them. I don't like them at all. Another big thing about me, I do not like my generation, or the generations after it. There are many reasons behind that. Just going to school with these people every day. I'll just use that as an example. They're so needy. They don't want to do any work at all. They don't care to put any effort into the work that they're doing. They just don't care. They just want everything in life handed to them. No questions asked, and everything for free. To me, that's a big problem. And I know to many other people that's a big problem too. And just like one of my teachers today was saying, well actually it would be yesterday, but she was saying that workplaces are having a hard time finding people that come to work. They keep calling in sick, they just don't come. Yeah, and I just think it's gonna get even worse because at least the people at my school and our local community here, it's only gonna get worse. These people don't want to do anything. They just want to go somewhere, stand around, I guess be on social media all the time, text hundreds of people, and they don't want to do anything. They expect to get paid to just stand around and take breaks all the time. And I really don't have too much to say about the younger generation since I don't have much experience with it, but I do have a little bit because I have a cousin and my sister has some friends that are like this. They're just exactly the same way as high schoolers. They want everything done for them. They think they have a right to be served, when in reality, they should be the ones serving. There's a big contrast between just your normal average person in high school and the community service type of organizations in the school. There are lots of them. Even if the organization isn't based on community work, they still do tons of it. And you'll notice the people that complain all the time are the ones not in those organizations. They don't care about the community. They don't. It's just me, me, me. The world revolves around me. That's their mindset. And that's not a very good mindset to have, but good luck in life. That's all I have to say to them. And then you have people like me who want to work. I get bored when I'm just sitting around. If I had a job, that is, I would. I don't even know how to put it into words. I couldn't contemplate just standing around and doing nothing at a job. Someone's gonna find out soon enough, and you're out of a job. And besides, they need to get used to the real world. What it's gonna be like in life. You are not gonna get everything handed to you. Unfortunately, they don't realize that, which is gonna be an issue for them in the future. And I see as you go farther and farther back to like the newer generations, like 2000 babies and on, they're more of the disrespectful type of people. I know many people that, well, many people born in 2000 and up, they just outright disrespect everybody. Like, I don't know if the freshman class this year is from the 2000s or not, but just the way they treat the teachers in school, it's just horrible. They have no respect for anybody at all. Again, it goes back to the world revolves around me type of thought. It's not a very good thing. Who do we have to blame here? Well, could blame the kid. They were born this way, you know. They can't help it. You could blame the parent, which is, I think, is more of the issue here, because I also see this. Kids get what they want, and if they start crying because they don't get what they want, they still eventually get what they want, which could be leading to these problems. Kids think that they can get whatever they want, and they don't have to do anything at all for it. So, just some stuff to think about there. Now, I'm gonna answer some stupid questions. Why is an alarm clock going off when it actually turns on? That's a that's a good question, I guess. Never really thought about that before. I don't really have an answer for that. I don't know. Why is an alarm clock going off when it actually turns on? I think these are just kind of questions that require a bunch of thought that we don't have time for. Let's see. Next question. If an ambulance is on its way to save someone and it runs someone over, does it stop to help them? Well, my first question would be, why are they running a person over? A person should not be so stupid to get in the way of an ambulance with its lights and sirens going. But I guess there are people in the world that would do that. So if it's on its way to save somebody and it runs it over, should they stop? That's another good thing. I don't know. At least, at the bare minimum, they should keep going and call for another ambulance to help the person they just ran over. Or have another ambulance dispatched to the person that needs saving, and then they could stop to help. So I guess, depending on the circumstances and how many ambulances are available, depends on what they could do. If Jimmy cracks corn and no one cares, why is there a song about him? Well, why not? Maybe somebody does care. Maybe his mother cares. But I guess the song does say Jimmy cracks corn and no one cares. Well, if no one really cared, they wouldn't listen to the song. So how would they know about the song if they didn't care? Why does mineral water that has been trickled through mountains for centuries go out of date next year? Well, because you take that mineral water, you take it, you have to make sure it passes all the regulations that, well, at least in the United States, that they have. Then you put a bunch of additives in it, and there you go. That's why it's going out of date next year. The next year. Good old United States of America. All these requirements. Well, in some cases they're good. And it does make sure the mineral water is safe for drinking. But you have an expiration date. Deal with it. It's not like it's gonna poison you when it goes out of date. It's just water. That's why I don't get expiration dates on just regular bottles of water. But I guess if it's required, I mean, like, you gotta do it. Unless you want to pay a huge fine. Well, that's look like all the stupid questions that I'm going to answer, because the rest of them aren't really even worth talking about. If I was the president, what would I do? Well, it's funny that you would ask that. First off, I would set up the government so, well, since it's saying it's not going to be president of the United States, I could be president of another country. So I'd make myself complete master overlord of that country. What else would I do? I'd make sure we have super fast internet. We'll get some Google fiber up in our country. I don't know. Maybe we'll just build up a huge military and take over the world, you know? be like a Roman Empire, just take over everything, because we can. That's what I would do as president. What else could I do? There's always more I could do. Everything that I want would be free. Otherwise you'll have to pay a fine. And then I would take the money from the fine, and I will pay for it. So I'm practically getting it for free. That's what I would do if I was president of a country. Now I know that if I wanted to do all of that, like in the United States, yeah, that would be stopped. That wouldn't happen. That would have no chance of going on. Another big thing I forgot about me. I procrastinate. Not just a little, but a lot. I have homework that I still need to make up from 2 weeks ago. But the good thing is, some of my teachers, they set due dates, but they don't really abide by the due dates. So you can get by with turning homework in a few weeks late or so. They don't care. Just as long as you get it in before like report cards go out or anything like that, you're good to go. Completely fine. And then you have other teachers, if it's one day late, you have a 0. And not just a 0 on their little paper thing, but you have a 0 on the official gradebook on the internet. So it depends on what teacher it is. Depends on how much I can procrastinate or not. In fact, I was actually surprised at the beginning of the semester, one of my AP teachers told us to procrastinate. But that's fine with me. I'll do it. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again next week.